Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the third overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
Always knew he'd be a gym rat, very cerebral player. A guy that beats you with his mind as well as his physical attributes. But the best part, poise under pressure. He knows how to bring a team back in the fourth quarter.
Like 25, 53. I got him.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Situation. Let's go.
Now Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Tyrann Mathieu has a cornerback's build with safety skills. The Honey Badger knows where the football is.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Ryan. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
The Falcons send out their punter. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Taking it about the 16. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs now under their veteran head coach, Andy Reid. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left. Move.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
You ain't doing nothing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Hey,
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Rush.
To throw, it's Mahomes. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Yellow. Right here. Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on the
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's it, baby. That's it.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game. The 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now Ryan on first down. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Ready, blue 80, blue 80. Mike, number 53, Mike 53. Yeah.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Gurley. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
59, ready, ready, set up. 53 for Mike.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And his kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake, because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Throwing quickly, Mahomes gets this out to Watkins. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and Travis Kelce will be key.
What a tremendous weapon he is, especially in the red zone. Knows how to find the end zone when running his routes.
Yellow, go on, 80. Here we go, D. Anxious.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And here now the defensive starters for Atlanta.
Many people thought Keanu Neal was overdrafted by Atlanta. but they saw his talents and knew that he would fit their scheme perfectly. A hybrid player, can play deep in the secondary as a safety, can drop down into the box and also make a lot of tackles, and at times can stay on the field and serve a linebacker role as well.
Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that will be incomplete.
Right there. Oh, dang, baby.
That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field, D.
Here's Ryan. The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and now it's 3rd down.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
It's caught. Jones. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Ryan now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now?
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day. Get out.
From the shotgun, Ryan. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 19.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
25. Check 53. Hey, I'm coming.
They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Play action, Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. From the gun, Ryan. And that one's complete to Gurley. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Try to punch it in with Smith. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now here comes Kansas City. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 41 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it with Williams. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the 24, Mahomes. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Tyler Davison hauling it off the edge to sack him.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And he's going to go down again. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Ryan now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Gurley. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He completes it to Treadwell. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Ryan now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Gurley. And Gurley, he fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Backbreaker, that'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Ryan. Complete to Jones. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 38-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 38. They run. It's Gurley. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
59, ready, like 25.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons.
Ready, like 25. Number 53, Mike 53. Here we go, D. Here I come. Mike 25 tonight.
They go play action with Ryan. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Now Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the second quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. 1 target, no catches. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. The 40. 20. 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great play there. 75 yards. And the Chiefs are once again going to retake the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. Butker on for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touch. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for him.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the 2nd quarter. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Chiefs on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Damian Williams, the man he was looking for. But it's going to be second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. 9 yards that time.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, and it's 3rd down.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He is going to find Hill here. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Mahomes now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now it's Mahomes again. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Mecole Hardman there to make the grab. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Atlanta now coming out on the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. A run with Gurley there on 1st down, going to get about 4 yards. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Keep playing hard.
Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Mahomes. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. A big play there for KC. 43 yards.
Here we go.
Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
Yo,
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And, you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Dan Quinn's told his offense, let's try and get 2 more.
Mike 53. You got nothing today. You got nothing.
They'll try and run it with Gurley. Continuing to fight for more. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Well, they had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And out come the Chiefs now. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a 1-score game.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Check safety, check safety.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now here's Mahomes. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Mahomes going to throw. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Mahomes will bring him up first and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. It's been all passing all the time on this drive, 5 for 5, and now first and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
Watch tight, tight ends right. Watch tight, tight ends right.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They go play action with Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And this will be caught at the 30. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 63 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. We've seen these two, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, connect quite a few times over the years. It never gets old.
It never gets old. Well, maybe for the defense it does, but not for us who are watching it. And Julio, every time he steps on the field, you can just about mark him down for 100 yards. That's about his career average per game. But think about this. Getting in the end zone has always been a struggle for him. He gets the big yardage, but he doesn't get the touchdowns. Not this time. No matter how many people were kicked in coverage, he found a way to beat it.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this is back to a 5-point game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Yellow.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go defense. Let's go defense.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Yellow. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. Only person happy now, the punter. Gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now it's Ryan. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. Damian Wilson in on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, You're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
From the 45 on second down, Ryan over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. Third down here.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Complete to Jones. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Ryan. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Ryan will throw again. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan scoring on the 2-yard keeper as his guys are able to regain the lead. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the shotgun, Ryan toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 76 yards, as his guys have now moved out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Andy Reid, never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They'll look to run for it with Williams. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. Ryan to the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. Short throw underneath to Hurst. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, look at the juke. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They go play action. Now Mahomes. It's complete to Williams. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Runs over him. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he is really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Just like that.
Ryan. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a draw play for Gurley. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. From the gun, Ryan. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Falcons send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Operating from the gun, Ryan. It's caught by Treadwell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Play action. It's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with his second touchdown of the afternoon as they have taken the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. So a big play coming for the Falcons as they'll go for 2. They'll try and run it with Gurley. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Working from the gun, Mahomes completes it to Hardman. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Let's go.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Fire down these two. Hey, come on, now.
Mahomes now on first down. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 32 on the play.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On the toss, here's Williams. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Do you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively.
Yellow. 180. Wrap it.
On 2nd and 15 now. Mahomes. They'll find his tight end, Seals Jones.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for a 4th quarter lead. And Butker able to put this one through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Chris Jones getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Ryan. He completes it to Treadwell. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Yellow. Long right. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Williams. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 39. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing quickly, Mahomes gets this out to Watkins. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. They go back to the ground with Williams. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
Yellow, there's a line. On this defense, no gap.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Mecole Hardman there to make the grab. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Butker now to add the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, Ryan. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And a good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Ryan. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And the return will stop right around the 25. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And they'll get him down right about the 20. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 36 yards out. And the kick by Butker is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Ryan and the Falcons down by 12. 1:47 on the clock. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards, 1st down Atlanta. And these numbers on our monitor are getting hard to believe. He's closing in now right on the doorstep of 500 yards passing.
I'm glad that you watched the monitor and said it first because I had trouble absorbing that. That's big time right there, right? That means everything just about has gone right for them and his squad in this game. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Looking to throw again on second down. Ryan. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Ryan. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Ryan on first down. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 30 yards. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Chiefs victorious here as we say